Hi everyone, hope you're okay. So this is our pregnancy yoga week 4. Hope you're all well. I just wanted to share with you a couple of mantras that I feel are really important to remember throughout pregnancy and the birth of your baby. And the first one is, my baby is the perfect size for my body. And I think that's really important to know, because sometimes with all the measuring and the texting, we get a little bit overwhelmed sometimes with that we're going to have a big baby or a small baby. But I think it's really important just to trust in your body, trust in your baby. Your baby will be the perfect size for your body. And then also this one I like. I trust my body to know what it is to do. Which I really like that one during the birth of your baby. That mantra is really, really powerful. And remember, mantras are like food for the soul, and it changes your mindset. So these mantras are really important to remember. And the last one is, each birth, each baby, each mother is unique. And I think that's really important to remember as well. And just knowing that your birth can take be prepared for whatever route your birthing takes. Having that mindset and keeping in control of the breath throughout is really, really important. Whatever's going on around you, you're in control of the breath, and you're in control of your birth, your baby. So this week's handouts are, what can I do to ease back pain in labour? So it's not just in labour, it's also whilst you're pregnant as well. There's lots we can do. And if you're getting the back pain, it could be babies back to back. There's lots we can do. So I'm going to demonstrate those for you now. So if you want to do them with me, you're welcome. You can just watch and take notes. It's entirely up to you. So if you are suffering with the back pain during labour, and midwife told you that baby's possibly back to back, or maybe not, you're just getting that pain, lots we can do. So the first thing is to be really active, and getting on all fours really helps. So if we're on all fours, then we're helping baby to turn into optimal birthing position, because we're working with gravity. And then you would go into what we call our pelvic tilt. So you would tuck tailbone under, and then gently dip the spine. And we move with the breath as well during the contraction. You can also do pelvic rocks, so where we take the hips down and then gently coming forwards. So this exercise helps minimize the pressure on your spine, and it takes the pressure off your spine. And again, you'd match these movements with the breath. During a contraction, during labour, you can ask your birthing partner to massage your lower back. So it's a firm pressure on the sacral here. And as you're moving through the contractions and you're moving, your partner would either stroke your back or do circular motions, quite firm. And this really, really helps with lower back pain. You can take a warm bath or shower. A warm compress on the lower back really helps. A TENS machine can be really useful as well if you're getting the back pain. Another one is squat or garland pose, which is this one, and we're going to cover this in our last week, of our course of classes, because this pose is really, really important to remember during the birth of your baby. But I'll give more information on that next week. However, so this is really, really good for lower back pain while you're pregnant and during the birth of your baby. And it releases, so the coccyx has to move back during the birth of your baby, and it allows the coccyx to move back, the tailbone to move back, by about 20%. And that's huge, and that's really important because it's creating space for your baby, and it's taking that pressure off your lower back as well. So this one's really, really good. And the last one is cobbler pose. The cobbler pose is where we would be seated against a wall, bring the soles of the feet together, and we sit nice and tall and slightly leaning forward. So this opens the pelvis and it loosens the hips, releases pain, prepares your body for the birth of your baby, and releases any pressure on the lower back. So that's if you're getting the back pain. So I'm going to send you that handout. Another one is breech baby. So if you are told your baby is breech, which is this way instead of head down, there's lots you can do, and sometimes babies don't even move into position until the onset of labour. But if you are told that your baby is breech, then there's lots you can do now. So the first thing that you can do is start creating space for baby, and throughout our course of classes, everything we do, every pose creates space for your baby to grow and to move into that optimal birthing position. So all the postures we do are beneficial. Another one will be swimming. You can also do all fours, one arm raises, and you place one hand in the centre and open the other one up to the sky, and then take it over to the other side. So what this is doing is, again, you're working with gravity and it's helping baby to turn. And I think as well, while baby's really active, so when you start to feel the movements, that's the optimal time to be doing these postures whilst you're pregnant as well as during the labour. All fours, leg circle. So this is another good one to remember to do if your baby's breech. So we would come onto all fours and we would circle the legs like this, and then take it over to the side. Because again, what this is doing is opening that space. It's opening the pelvis. It's allowing space for your baby to turn, which is really important. And then also we can do down dog. And ideally for as long as you can, but it does get quite tiring. So just go into down dog when baby's really active, breathe here, and then you can always come down into child's pose and rest when you get a little bit tired, and then come back into down dog again. So this is our down dog. The feet are a little bit wider than the hips to make space for your baby. The back is nice and flat. The knees can be soft. The fingers are open and the head is relaxed down. And then you would just breathe here. And again, when you're tired, come down into child's pose and then go again. So we need to be doing these perhaps a couple of times a day, leading up to the birth of your baby if baby's breech. Another one to do is what we call our bridge lifts. So you would lay down, the feet would be hip distance apart, tucking the chin in, and then you would lift the hips, hold it here for about 5 breaths, and then slowly release, and then come back up again, and release, and just continue like this. Hold for about 5 breaths, and then release. And the final one is what we call our breech tilt. And I will send you the link. It's called Spinning Babies, and it's wonderful about mapping your baby and how to get baby to turn, or to encourage your baby to turn into optimal birthing position. But our breech tilt is similar to that of bridge. So we would be laying down, but you would take yourself to maybe a sofa with stacked cushions, and you would lift your legs onto the sofa, and the hips would be raised. So you're at an angle like this. And that way you can stay there for a longer length of time without getting too tired. So that's your handout that I will send you. I think as well it's about trusting in your body, trusting in your baby, and just knowing that sometimes we can do all these things and it may be that your baby still doesn't turn, and usually your baby's breached for a reason that we don't understand at the time. So so again, just trusting the body, trusting your baby. Another handout is our perineal massage. So this is what we would do, not until you're about 36 weeks onwards. And the handout explains how to do it. So you would use your thumbs, and you would use, for example, something really natural. So like sunflower oil, something very natural. And then you're gently stretching those muscles of the perineal. But again, it's quite gentle, and it's a stretching sensation. And what this does is it helps you to prevent tearing during the birth of your baby. It prepares your body for the birth of your baby, and it really does work. It's really, really important to do. But it explains here really well how to do it, and only for about 10 minutes a day as well. So I'll send you that. And the final handouts are more to do with your birthing partner. So some homework for your birthing partners. So they are massage techniques for labour. And massage during labour is really, really important. It stimulates the body to release endorphins, which is our natural pain-killing and mood-lifting hormone. And it brings you closer to that person, so you can have that connection as well. And it's very comforting as well during a contraction. And there's different methods. And in the handout, there's diagrams, and it explains it really well, why we're doing it, and so on. So that's really important for you. And the other one is recognising common behaviours during labour for birth partners through each stage of labour. So, for example, in early labour, excitement, nervousness, and then what the action would be. So we stay with her, offer her food and drink, gentle support, etc. So go through all that. So that's homework for the birthing partner. And the other one is about working in pairs. So I'm going to demonstrate here. So during labour, how your birthing partner can help you. So you can start in your pelvic rocks. So if you're at this stage and you're doing your pelvic rocks during a contraction, your birthing partner can stand behind you or at the side of you and do firm massaging strokes along your back. So again, it's bringing that connection. It's helping to release any tension in your back. It's releasing that chemical in your body, that feel-good chemical at the same time. While you're doing your rotations, which we're going to explain later in this session about rotations. So you'll be doing rotations during the next stage of labour, when contractions are more intense, more closer together. And your birthing partner could be seated in front of you, holding onto your arms, and you would he or she would support you in this way. You can also do rotations this way as well. So on your knees, holding onto your partner, so they're supporting you and you're moving together. Standing, so standing during a contraction is really, really good. You're working with gravity, and it helps baby work down the birth canal. So if you have a contraction while you're standing, you can lean over your birthing partner. So always leaning, because that encourages baby to turn. And you can do your rotations whilst leaning over your birthing partner, either like this or standing. And they take the weight of you and they support you. And the last one would be, again, coming back to garland pose, which is going to be our pushing stage, our final stage of labour. This is an optimal position to be in, not okay for everybody, but if it feels right for you, then that's okay. If this is right for you, your birthing partner can stand behind or squat behind you and take their arms under your arms and hold you and support you in that way. or in front of you. So again, you could be leaning over them, you can be holding onto them in that way. And then just making sure that they're looking out for the signs, so making sure that they are aware of how you should be breathing through each stage of birth, so they can reassure you and make sure your breath can remind you to breathe deep, all those encouraging words, and squeezing the hand as well is really, really useful for the birthing partner to do. It brings reassurance, and it's comforting as well. Supportive affirmations, which are all in your handout as well. So that first handout that I sent you to keep in your hospital bag, the affirmations are on there. And lastly, I would advise the birthing partner to breathe with her. So breathe with her. So again, it's bringing that breath awareness, which is the most important thing. But again, this is all on your handouts, and I'll send that to you. So we're going to start. So take a few moments to get settled, get your sacred space, and we'll begin. So when you're ready, coming into seated, if cross-legged doesn't feel right for you, you can bring your legs to the side, or you can sit back on your heels, whatever feels right for you. Just want to take a few moments to check in with how we're feeling today, how the physical body's feeling, anything we're holding on to in the heart space, any thoughts, worries, or anxieties that are present. Just acknowledge them, accept them. So when you're ready, first of all, be proud for taking this time for you and your baby as well to do something positive and nourishing. We're going to rest our hands on our tummy. And then gently close the eyes. And as you close your eyes, just gently drop the chin down towards your chest. And I want you just to, first of all, just to scan your body. And just be aware if you're holding on to any stress or tension or tightness in your body. Just find that space. And just start to gently relax, release, and to let go. Start to relax the space between your eyes and your temples. Allow your thoughts to flow in and to flow back out. Trusting all is just as it should be. Trusting all will be well. Trusting that at this moment you are exactly where you are meant to be. And this is your time and yours alone. Allow your jaw to soften. Allow the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. And already you're starting to relax. Allow your shoulders to soften. And then bring awareness to your tummy and allow your tummy to soften. Take a moment to bring your awareness to your baby. Feel that connection of unconditional love. Imagine sending warm, positive energy all the way down to your baby. And just start to notice the gentle rise and fall of your tummy as you breathe. And start to breathe a little bit deeper, breathing all the way down to your baby. And together, breathing in through the nose, big sigh out through the mouth. Just let go of any negativity, any energy that no longer serves you well. Just let it go. And again, imagine breathing in that warm, positive energy. Big breath out through the mouth. Just letting everything go. And again, inhale. And exhale. One more time together, deep breath in. And breathing out. And already you're starting to feel more present in the here and the now. Allow yourself to let go of all what was yesterday. Tomorrow is not yet here. So breathe into this moment. And as we bring our left hand to rest on our heart, allow your right hand to rest on your tummy. Make that connection between your heart center and your womb. And together, breathing in through the nose. Big sigh out through the mouth. Just letting go with every in-breath, with every out-breath. One more time, deep breath in. And breathing out. And take a few moments here just to notice what the heart's holding on to today. Try to create some space within your heart for love, light, and positivity. Breathe in that energy. Send it to wherever it needs to go. And then just breathing out, letting anything go that you no longer need to hold on to. I'm going to take one more deep breath in together. And breathing out. Feeling calm, feeling positive, feeling present. When you are ready, you'll gently start to open the eyes. And as you gently open the eyes, just rest your hands down on your knees and we're going to come into shoulder circles. And I want you to continue throughout your practice here today to make that conscious connection with the breath. Because if we're breathing, then we're present. If we're consciously breathing, then we're in this moment. And it helps to bring our postures alive. It brings vitality and energy into the body. From here, coming into opening breaths. Inhale, arms up. Exhaling, hands to the heart. 2 more times, moving with the breath. One more time, big breath in. Breathing out. Coming into our side stretch, right hand rests down on the lap. Left arm reaches over the side of the body. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lengthen, make space for your baby. Breathing fully, so making sure we're breathing all the way to the top of that lung before exhaling. Coming back to center, flowing over to the side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lengthen. One more time, big breath in. And breathing out, coming back to center, interlacing fingers out behind, squeezing shoulder blades together. So this is a heart opening pose. Releases stress and tension in the neck and the shoulders. Inhale. And exhale. Releasing the hands. Gently placing them on our knees. Let's come into our rotations just to release any stress or tension in the hips. Helping to lubricate and loosen the pelvis. Take a nice deep breath in. And breathing out, coming back to your center. From here, coming into our butterfly, soles of the feet together, gently taking hold of the ankles. Inhale, lengthen, make space for baby. Exhale, go a little bit deeper if it feels okay. And then just hold and breathe. Tucking the chin in. We should feel a nice release here in the lower back. Beautiful for the hips, releasing stress or tension that accumulates here. Helping to prepare your body for the birth of your baby. Helping to balance our emotions and our hormones. Take another nice deep breath in. Breathing out. Releasing, coming all the way back to the center, taking the legs out to the side. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, walk your fingers forward, lengthening through your spine, hold and breathe. Positive stretch should be felt all the time. So just making sure we're not overstretching. Take another breath in. As you breathe out, come back to center. Left hand on your shin, ankle, or your toes. Reach your right arm over your body. Lengthen through the side of your body. So just create that space for baby. Inhale. Exhale. Release over to the other side. Perhaps one side feels tighter than the other. Use the breath. Coming back to center. Bringing the feet closer in, wider than the hips to make space for baby. Place hands on your shins. So coming into that lower back release. So we're rounding the spine, put chin in and then lift. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rounding spine. Breathe all the way down to your baby. Feel that release between your shoulders. 2 more times, moving with the breath. Inhale and exhale. Move all the way back to center. From here, let's come onto all fours. And as you come onto all fours, if you get any pain in your wrists, come onto the fists, so stacking the fists. If you wish, support your knees with cushions or a blanket. Take the knees a little bit wider than the hips now, to make space for baby. Left hand in the center, open your right arm up to the sky. Inhale, exhale back to center, then over the other side. So we're moving with the breath. And again, just remembering this one's useful during the birth of your baby. If you're getting back pain, helps your baby to move into optimal birthing position. Coming back to center, into cat-cow, so rounding spine, tuck tailbone under, dipping spine, coming into cow. Moving with the breath. So again, another beautiful one to do during labour to help baby to turn, releasing any lower back pain. One more time. Coming back to center, coming into our leg circles. So lifting the right leg, taking it gently out to the side and just start to make some circles here. And it is wonderful for lubricating the pelvis. It helps baby to turn. So if during labour, midwife tells you baby it's got a little bit stuck or labour's slowed down, we can use this method to help labour to progress, helping the baby to move. And then one more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cow. Back into neutral spine, and we'll take it over to the other side. So left leg is raised, coming into the leg circles. And I want you just to keep your awareness on the breath here. So that conscious connection with the breath, because this is quite challenging. The legs may get a little bit tired. So use that breath to keep you strong. One more time. And release, come back to the center. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Coming all the way onto the knees, hands at the heart center. Staying here or coming into a gentle back bend. So coming to here, or if you wish, place your fists in your lower back and then pushing the hips gently forward, opening it through the heart. Breathe into the heart space. Breathe all the way down to your tummy. And this creates space for your baby to grow. Opens the heart, so releases any fear or anxiety we may be holding on to. If you wish to go a bit deeper, you can release both hands out behind. Then just bring your left hand to your heart. Let your right hand rest on your right heel. Coming a little bit deeper and then taking that left arm over the body if it feels okay. And then release. Come back to center and then over the other side. So left hand on the left heel, right hand on the heart center, and then gently taking that right arm over the body. And this is lovely for creating space for your baby. It helps to eliminate any digestive upsets. And then when you're ready to release, come back to center. Back onto all fours. From here, let's bring our right foot to the outside of the right hand. So just being mindful throughout your practice, we're stacking our joints. So knee over ankle. We're making space for your baby, so taking that leg out to the side a little bit more if you wish. Staying here for today, or tuck your back toes under, coming into our low lunge. And you can see, instead of rounding the spine, we want to gently lengthen through the spine, dropping the hips down. And then breathe here. We're going to take a few deep breaths here, but if you need to rest, if you get a little bit tired, drop the knee down. So we tend to, or shall I say, things that we don't digest in the day, things that overwhelm us or challenges, the body holds on to and manifests in different parts of the body, and the hips is a really common place. But we can do yoga and we can release that through these postures. And then take another breath in, and then as you breathe out, gently release that knee, toes down, keeping the weight in that front foot, but bringing your hands to your heart. Inhale. Exhale, open the arms up to the sky, so crescent moon, which is lovely for cleansing the kidneys, strengthening for the spine. From here, we're going to release the left hand on the back of the left thigh. Go a little bit deeper if it feels okay. Take another breath in. As you breathe out, sweeping fingertips back down onto the inner right foot. Stay here. If it feels okay, go a little bit deeper by perhaps bringing the elbows down. Knee gently out to the side, coming onto the outside of the foot. If this is too intense, if it doesn't feel positive, stay here. Take another breath in. As you breathe out, coming all the way back up to your center, stepping that leg back out behind. We're going to repeat on the other side. So left foot to the outside of your left hand. Knee over ankle, drop the hips down low. Stay here or tuck toes under. Inhale, exhale, lengthen, low lunge. Soften your shoulders, soften the spine. And perhaps notice if one side feels tighter than the other. Try to direct the breath to any spaces of discomfort you feel. And you can use this technique during the birth of your baby as well. Taking another breath in. As you breathe out, dropping knee, toes down, coming all the way up into crescent moon, hands in line with the heart. Inhale. Exhale, open arms up to the sky. Take another breath in, lengthen through both sides of the body before releasing your right hand on the back of the right thigh. And again, keep that conscious connection with the breath, filling the lungs to the very top before exhaling. So each breath is bringing more energy, more oxygen, nutrients, vitality to the whole of the body and your baby. Take another breath in, breathing out, sweeping fingertips back down. Stay here if it feels okay, or gently drop your forearms down. And when you're ready to release, go all the way back to center, taking that leg back out behind. And then we're going to come into down dog. So we're going to tuck toes under, inhale. Exhale, push back into down dog. If down dog doesn't feel right for you, stay in child's pose. So knees wider than the hips, reaching arms forward. Coming into heel press, so gently pressing into alternate heels. Benefits of this pose are really calming for the mind. Helps to ease depression and anxiety. Strengthening for the spine. And again, just remembering if baby's breached, this is really useful. We're going to take a big breath in. As you breathe out, bring your gaze between your hands. Drop the knees down. Bring your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Coming back into low lunge. Turn your right heel down to ground into your mat. Take another breath in. As you breathe out, bring your hands to your heart, coming into warrior one. So just squaring the hips and the shoulders, checking left knees over left ankle, bringing the hands in line with the heart or drawing the arms up to the sky. Keep pressing into that back heel. So really strengthening for the legs. Also brings this inner strength because it strengthens the heart, strengthens the lungs. Take another breath in, and as you breathe out, release into warrior two. So arms in line with the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, straighten both legs, release into triangle. So both legs are straight here. Just take a moment to ground into this pose, into this moment, and breathe. From here, let's just soften that front knee a little bit. And then coming a little bit lower down in the hips. And then release your right arm over your head. So extended side angle. And this is wonderful for bringing nourishment to the placenta. Helps the uterus to relax on both sides. And it helps to encourage your baby into optimal birthing position. We're going to take another breath in. As we breathe out, bring that strength to your legs. Coming into wide leg forward fold. So toes in, heels out. Interlacing fingers out behind, squeeze shoulder blades together. Take an in breath, and as you breathe out, come into wide leg forward fold. Taking the arms over the head. And just giving the head a shake. Breathe into the shoulders. This is lovely for lower back pain. Calming for the mind, releasing stress or tension in the neck. And then if it feels okay, just bring the hands down, shoulder width apart. If that feels okay, press into the floor with your hands, soften and lengthen through the spine and gently push into the floor as you drop the crown of the head down. If the crown of the head doesn't reach, that's okay. Just stay wherever you're at today. And wherever you're at today is perfect. And take another breath in. As you breathe out, push into the outer heels. Bring your hands to your heart, coming all the way up. Turn your right foot to face forwards, and your left foot turns out slightly, releasing into warrior one on the other side. Drawing arms up to the sky. Breathing to the heart space. Breathe all the way down to your baby. Lengthen through both sides of the body. Inhale. As you exhale, release. Warrior two. Take another breath in. Breathing out. Soften the shoulders. Coming into triangle, so both legs straight. And slowly coming into that triangle. And you feel that lovely stretch in your back, your hips, through the side of the body. And if your hand doesn't quite reach the floor, just rest it on the shin or the ankle. Remember, every pose should be positive. From here, just soften that front knee a little bit. Soften the hips. Inhale. Exhale, taking that arm over the head. Just take a few breaths here. And when you're ready to release, moving with awareness of the breath, inhale, exhale. Coming back into warrior two, big breath in and breathing out. Hands to the heart. So we're going to come into mountain pose, feet together. And in our mountain pose, we're going to take our right leg out behind. Hands in line with the heart. So the left foot's facing forward, right foot slightly turned out. Flexing that front knee. And then we're going to bring the arms out in front, palms open to the sky. Staying here for today if you wish, otherwise moving into your warrior three. So when you're ready, bringing the weight forward, straighten standing leg, and then slowly extend the right leg out behind. The leg doesn't need to be any higher, just in line with the hip. And when you're ready to release, take an in-breath. As you breathe out, soften front knee, step back slowly, pressing into that outer heel, releasing into reverse warrior. The right hand on the back of the right thigh, left arm reaches up to the sky. Take a breath in, and then breathing out, release, hands to the heart, taking it straight over the other side. So right foot faces forwards, left foot faces out. Open palms to the sky. Relax the shoulders. Bring awareness to the breath. And just find one focal point to help with the balance. And then slowly coming into warrior three. And then flexing that right knee, step back. Into your reverse warrior. So left hand on the left thigh. And release. Hands back to the heart. Coming into mountain pose, feet together. Big breath in. Arms up to the sky. Exhale. Feet wider than the hips. Inhale. Exhale, coming all the way down into that forward fold. Soften through the knees. Coming down onto our knees. Taking them wider than the hips and just coming in to that child's pose. And we're going to take 2 grounding breaths in this pose. So big breath in through the nose, and big sigh out through the mouth. And again, big breath in, and breathing out. Stretching the arms forward. And this pose helps to release lower back pain. It opens the hips, opens the pelvis. It's a very calming effect upon the mind. And when you're ready, bring all the way back up. And we're going to start to just flow through the first and the second stage of labour. So the first stage, which we've been practicing, I'm just going to go over it again to refresh the mind. So the first stage is when the contractions first begin, and they gradually start to get stronger and stronger in intensity. And just be mindful that if we've been induced, that we may skip this stage altogether, and the contractions can come a lot stronger and more intense and quicker. So just be mindful of that. However, this first stage, we use our golden thread breath, and the importance is on movement, breath, and mantras. So there's 3 things which are in your handout. So this first stage, contractions begin, and the movements that we would use are cat-cow and the golden thread breath. So we inhale through the nose and we exhale through the mouth. Being mindful to keep the jaw relaxed because the jaw is connected to the cervix. Being mindful to keep the chin tucked in because that encourages your baby to tuck their chin in as well. So we take the knees wider than the hips because we want to create space for your baby to move. And again, breathe all the way down to your tummy. So imagine that first contraction is coming when we're coming into cat-cow. So we inhale and exhale. And again, big breath in and breathing out. 2 more times, big breath in and breathing out. And then when that contraction is eased, we release back into child's pose and we rest and recover and regain our strength, ready for the next contraction. So the next movement we can use is our pelvic box. So again, knees wider than the hips. And again, we drop the hips down as we inhale, touching in. Exhale. Take it back. So breathing in, breathing out. One more time. And then we rest in your child's pose, ready for the next contraction. The next one that we're going to do is pelvic scoops. So if baby's back to back, midwife tells you you're getting the back pain, then remember to go into pelvic scoops. So again, we're using the golden thread breath. We inhale, scoop down low with the chest, exhale, and take it back. So it's 2 movements, 2 breaths. One more time. And then rest. And again, you've got your mantras here during this first stage. So I'm ready and prepared for the birth of my baby. I'm ready and prepared for the birth of my baby. There's another method that we can use, which is our 1 knee rocks. So 1 knee rocks during this stage are really useful to help the baby to move in that position, into optimal position, and prepares your body for the birth of your baby. So again, we're using all these techniques during the contraction. So the breathing, the movement, and the mantra. We're going to do it on the other side. So again, imagine that contraction is coming. Inhale, exhale. Breathing in, tummy rises. Exhale. Breathing into any spaces of discomfort you feel. Exhaling. Letting it go. And then release. And then coming into child's pose. And while you're in your child's pose, you've got that other mantra. So my courage and patience will send my baby into my arms. So the next stage is what we call active labour. So things have progressed, contractions are more intense, and we don't use our golden thread breath anymore, which is so really strong, really long, and it's audible. So that's something to really remember, is that you can hear it and it's strong. So the next stage is what we call our feather breath. So you can imagine either a feather or a candle, and we're blowing that candle, but not to the point that we're blowing it out. And it would be like this. And we use different movements as well. So we're going to go flow through all of this now. So things will have progressed. Contractions are closer together, more intense. They're building up, which is really positive. You may still be at home at this point. You may be unsure whether to go to the hospital. If you're unsure, then you can always ring the hospital, and your midwife will listen to you have a contraction over the phone, and will be able to tell if you're ready to come in. But at this point, you won't be able to talk through your contractions. You really internalise and turn your focus inwards. So everything's about the breath, and just being mindful about breathing all the way down to the baby, all the way down to the uterus, because again, the uterus is a muscle, and we need to get that oxygen down to allow the fibres to flow. And if the fibres are flowing, there's enough oxygen, and the contraction moves with ease. So we do 10 breaths. Approximately, and then take a big breath in, and then blow that tension away. And then you keep going again until the contraction is eased. So it's big breath in and blow it away. And then you go again. And you'll notice that the first in breath and out breath is as strong as the 10th. So it's strong, it's audible, and you're bringing as much oxygen in on every breath. So it's not just one breath in and then until we run out of oxygen. It's bringing in as much oxygen as we can before exhaling it out. And we use a different movement. So it's rotation for dilation. So we've now switched to rotating our hips, because this opens the birth canal. It helps baby to move down the birth canal, and for your baby to turn into optimal birthing position. So we're going to flow through these movements along with this breath. If you're unsure when to switch the breathing technique, try not to worry, because your body will take over. It will just happen. The contractions will get more intense, and the golden thread breath just won't feel enough. So it will just automatically happen. So again, you can use your visualization technique of a feather or a candle, whatever feels right for you. But the techniques that we would use, movements that we use during this stage, would be again, all fours is really good because we're working with gravity, we're helping baby to turn. So baby's spine is against your tummy. So knees wider than the hips, and we just start to rotate the hips like this. So we're rotate to dilate, because we need to get to 10 centimeters dilated, and to do that, this method will help. It helps labour to progress. So we would use this movement. So we're going to flow through this along with the breathing here. If midwife still tells you baby's back to back, then you can incorporate a rounding and a dipping of the spine as well as rotating. So you can use that method, because again, as you're lifting and dipping the spine, your spine is rubbing on your baby's spine, and it encourages them to turn into that optimal birthing position, which is here. So baby spine against your tummy. If baby's here, back to back, then you can see leaning forwards helps baby to naturally turn, to gravitate to here, which is what we want for a smoother, easier birth. If baby's on their side here, then baby only needs to turn one time. So we're going to flow through this. We'll just take a few moments, start to rotate the hips. So again, imagine that contraction is coming, and just being mindful and just remembering that the contractions are temporary and that there's spaces in between. Every contraction brings you closer to your baby. So tucking the chin in, relax the jaw, bring awareness to the breath and to your baby. And again, remember the tummy needs to rise and fall as you breathe. So we're going to do 2 rounds here. So when you're ready, big breath in and then go. Big breath in, blow it away. And then again, take another big breath in and then go. Big breath in and blow that tension away. So imagine that contraction is eased and we relax back in our child's pose, ready for the next contraction. Another method here to rotate, a really nice one, is particularly if you're using a birthing pool, anyone in the birthing pool, is knees wider than the hips and you're sat back on the heels and you can rotate like this. And again, your birthing partner can be in front, you can be holding onto them, or they can be behind, supporting you. But again, we're rotating, using that movement. And it's the feather breath, which is big breath in and blow that tension away. And then you start again, keep going and going until that contraction's eased. Another one is birthing ball. So if you want to lean over the birthing ball, you can rotate the hips that way, leaning over the birthing ball, which is really good. Always leaning slightly forwards, whatever position you're in. If you're in the car, so if you're going from home to the hospital, you can lean over the back seat and you can rotate in the back. Never stay still, never sit in recline, never freeze into stillness. Keep the body moving because it will dispel any discomfort, any pain. Standing, so if you wanted to stand, use a ball or a birthing partner to lean forwards and rotate the hips. And then lastly, again, there is the leg rotations. If baby's got a little bit stuck and needs a little bit of help, you can come into your one leg circles. And our affirmation here is that I trust my body to know what it is to do. So I trust my body to know what it is to do. We're going to flow through all of that again next week, so it will go into your mind. You will remember it, so don't worry. If you've got any questions, then just let me know. So we're going to go into our final pose. So we're going to come into our cow face pose. So bringing the legs together, take the right leg under the left, and just bring the left leg further in. And this may be enough for you today, or if you wish to go a bit deeper, take the left leg over the top of the right. And you'll start to feel a strong stretch here, down this hip flexor. If you wish to go a bit deeper, bring that leg further in. So you can see we're on the flats of the tops of the feet. And the knees are aligned with one another. We can use our hands to lift and help keep the spine nice and tall. Both sits bones grounded into our mat. And again, if there's any discomfort, just use the breath to breathe into that space. And if you wanted to go a little bit deeper still, you can gently bring the hands forward. And this is a lovely pose to help with the functioning of the kidneys. Releases any lower back pain, and it's useful if you're suffering from fatigue or anxiety. And then gently come back to centre. And we're going to take it over the other side. So bring the legs together. And this time, left leg under the right. And your right leg over the top of the left. Again, just pausing here, making sure this feels okay. If it does, then you can go a little bit deeper. Bringing both feet further back. You may find you're tight on one side than the other. Try to make sure that no tension is creeping up into any of the spaces of the body. So relax the shoulders and the jaw. Take a moment to breathe. And this posture also helps to invoke energy into the body. Helps to align the womb, which is really important. Helps to align the whole of the body. And if you're suffering from hip pain, particularly sciatica pain, it releases that pain. Again, you can go a little bit deeper if you wish. And slowly release, coming back to centre. Bringing the soles of the feet together, taking an in-breath. Exhale, go a little bit deeper if it feels okay. Looking chin in. Relax the shoulders. And all the way back to centre, bring the legs in, so you'll cross legs. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bringing that left elbow to rest on top of the right. Eagle arms. Closing the space between the forearms and the palms if it feels okay. If you wish to go a bit deeper, take the arms higher up. Take another deep breath in. And breathing out, release. Coming over to the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, right elbow sits on top of the left. Close the space between the forearms and the palms. Close the eyes if you wish. Relax the shoulders, inhale. And exhale, take the arms a little bit higher if you wish. This helps to align and balance both sides of the brain. Helps with mental clarity and focus. And then release. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. And then we're going to finish with our last pose, cradle the baby. So bringing that left leg in towards you. Sitting tall. If it feels okay, go a little bit deeper. So coming to here. And then gently rock. And then release. And then over to the other side. And this again is helping with any hip pain, sciatica pain, back pain. And then release. Take another big breath in, inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Bringing left hand onto the heart, right hand onto the tummy. Relaxing shoulders, closing the eyes. Just taking a moment to feel proud of yourself for taking this time today to nourish and nurture your mind, your body and your baby. Keep hold of that positive energy that you've created here today. And take a deep breath in through the nose. And big sigh out through the mouth. Last time together, inhale, palms together, exhaling, hands to the heart, and Namaste. And when you are ready, go straight into your meditation. Really important to take that time to do that while your body is really open and gain all those beautiful benefits from the hard work. Thank you so much.